Today we are looking at the 2025 Infiniti QX60 Luxe all-wheel drive. Now, I know that the mid-size luxury SUV is arguably one of the hottest topics to date. So let's see if this QX60 still has what it takes to keep up with its competitors like the Acura MDX, the Buick Enclave, and the Lexus RX. So let's talk about this color. We have a beautiful gray they call Harbor Gray, which is one of the 3 options that comes in the Black Edition. The Black Edition package is a $1,900 option, which comes with things like this black grille, which has an illuminated badge, black badging in the rear. We've got 20-inch black gloss wheels here, some nice black skull caps, and black roof rails. One of the other things that it comes with is this really nice illuminated kick plate. Checking out under the hood here, we have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, pushing out 268 horsepower and 286 foot-pounds of torque with a 9-speed automatic. Certainly not anything that you're gonna be excited to speed around in, but definitely gonna get you to A and B for sure. All right. Driving the QX60, automatically, I feel very comfortable considering I have the heated steering wheel and the heated seats selected, but the steering wheel itself doesn't feel all that luxurious. This isn't like a high-end leather that it's wrapped in. It's kind of almost a hard plasticky feel, but it's not that wonderful to the touch. It's getting the job done. These buttons feel very plain. Let's see how nice the suspension feels. I know we're coming up to some train track crossings here, which are known to be not great. Okay, those it's not terrible. We've got another set right here. They're a little worse. It's actually pretty decent suspension. I know in my car, those train tracks are atrocious to go through, and that was actually much nicer than what I deal with in my car. So, all right. One pro definitely in the column for the QX60. Let's see how merging on this street goes. All right, it's got some pickup, not bad for a little turbo. Let's put it in sport mode and see what we've got here. A little bit of turbo lag, but it's smooth. You know, I'll give it that. It is a smoother ride, and it's relatively very comfortable. As long as I'm not sitting in the back seats. Those back seats are bad, but these front seats are a lot nicer than the back. I will give it that. One of the things I do really like about driving an SUV like this is how much taller I feel. I have such a better sight of vision. I can see a lot more, and plus the greenhouse is pretty tall in this SUV, so I actually have pretty good visibility. I'm not a big proponent on how slow this is, but that's not what you're buying this car for. You're not buying it because you're trying to race around. You're trying to buy this because you want to go from A to B in a little bit more comfort than, a base model low-end manufactured vehicle. But without breaking the bank, this is actually pretty comfortable and decently luxurious, especially having ventilated seats. I feel like that's something you don't get in every vehicle. Heated seats are more common nowadays, especially heated steering wheel, but ventilated seats, that's where it's at. Checking out the interior of the QX60 is decent, I'm gonna say. We do have some nice touch services like this padded dash, which is really nice. Now, one thing I am not a fan of is this haptic touchscreen for all your HVAC controls. At first glance, you're like, oh, just press this on. No, it's not working. You have to give it a really decent hard push. I'm not a huge fan of this. I just want there to be buttons again. And if it has to be touchscreen, just let me touch it. But this haptic movement, it could be so much better. Not a big fan of this. We do have a nice 12.3-inch touchscreen, which does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is really nice. So over here, you'll find our gear selector. I know they just have to come with a bunch of wild different ways to stand out from everybody else, but to operate this, there's a little button on the side, and then you can put it into gear. Up is for reverse, down is for drive, and then pressing for park. I feel like they just keep trying to reinvent the wheel with these gear selectors. It could be better, in my opinion. And over to the left here, we do have our different drive modes, which gives us things like sport, auto, eco, and what I like to see is at least a snow drive mode, just in case you do have to go through some wintry situations. A nice thing that this QX60 has is you gotta have heated and ventilated seats, which we do have in the front, and we've got our nice heated steering wheel. And then another nice thing I've noticed with the QX60 is this really cool little pass-through here. You can put your purse, you can put books, whatever backpack you've got. Like, this is a really great option to have up here, because a lot of times you don't have a lot of storage up front. You gotta shove everything in the back, and this is nice because it's really accessible here. Getting into the back of the QX60, one of the first things I noticed, not comfortable seats back here. This feels like a park bench back here. This does have not a lot of give. I guess for your backseat passengers, not really something that they're giving a forethought to, but I will say I've got a decent amount of leg room here for sure. I'm 5'7" for reference, and I have a decent amount of headroom. If you're any taller than me, this could be an issue for you, but leg room, a lot to spare back here. We also have a good amount of HVAC controls. We even have some heated seats for the rear passengers. I do like that you have not only upper vents, but foot vents as well. That's a big thing for me. Also, a couple USB ports, which is really nice. And then back here, we've got your cup holder armrest. No thrills here whatsoever, but it is nice that you at least get a couple of cup holders in the back. Getting into the third row of the QX60, you've got a little button in the back here which will tilt it forward and allow you to slide it. So that does give me quite a bit of room to scoot on back here. Let's see how this feels. Oh, same park bench, that's for sure. Pull this back. Ooh, this is tight. This is real tight. I don't think this is gonna be really meant for adults. I can fit back here for a long duration of time. What I want to, not even in the slightest, but we do have 2 cup holders on each side, which is nice. We've got a little pad here, I guess for your phone, I suppose. We do have 1 USB port over here on the passenger side of the third row seat. Nothing for the driver's side, so sorry for you, but we do have some nice head air vents in the back as well. In the back of the Infiniti QX60, we've got a nice 3-row setup and about 15 cubic feet of room behind the third row seat and 75 cubic feet of room behind the front row. So laying all these down, you've got enough room for quite a bit of stuff, whether you have to lug around a whole lot of luggage or just some skis or boards or a bunch of dogs perhaps. Got some room back here for sure. We even have some nice covered cargo area down here as well. And then below we have a nice space saver spare, which is always a good thing to have. This QX60 with these options in the Black Edition package is coming in at just under $63,000. Now, to me, I feel like this can be kind of a forgettable model, so I'm not sure that it really does stick up to its competitors like the Acura MDX and the Buick Enclave, but for some, it might be everything that they're looking for. Check out alltfl.com for your new and used car reviews. This has been Jen. Thanks for watching.